likes to be, covering trials and interesting trials. And I've taken so many notes, and I'm back to my notebooks. Remember my trial notebooks? I was thinking about that. I'm like, where did I remember? I covered so many trials and literally just had notebooks full, which I still have, like the Timothy Jones trial and the remember that one with the two cousins and the baby that was carried out in the duffel bag, and then the other one that the two friends, and one raised the daughter and then killed the one daughter, and then the other ones that had a baby and it went down a well. And oh my gosh, how many trials did we cover with notebook after notebook? Well, I'm back into it. This is a really interesting case. Now, this case is a case about, you know, the Wella hair brand? And then it was bought out by Coty. Well, this person, Fabio Cimenti, he made this huge name for himself. And he was a young man. He wasn't even 50 years old when he was killed. And he was, he came from Canada, Italian family. He worked with his sister, but then he built this empire. He had been married one time before, had a son, Luigi. Then he married this woman. They were married 20 years, or nearly 20 years. They have two teenage girls. And they lived in California. And by all means, by everything you see, they had a beautiful life, right? They had the vacations, they had the money, they had the vehicles, they had the house, they had the pool, they had everything. But apparently, his wife wasn't happy. And so she had a man that had all of this stuff. Well, what did she do? She went with a racquetball coach, but not just any racquetball coach. He was a registered sex offender. You know what he did? He did things to an underage girl. You know who she was? His partner or his wife he was the stepdaughter. I don't know if he was married to the woman, but he was the woman that he was with, her daughter, that he did this stuff to. With no means, no money, but she's going to town with this guy. Not only is she into this, they are using all these Viber accounts that are encrypted. Then they went over to WhatsApp. They got burner phones. But hey, she is sending him raunchy photos, okay, of herself, close-ups of her genitals, close-ups of her doing stuff to herself, okay, naked pictures. You can't even imagine how many. And listen, they're not going to show them in the trial because they are lewd, but they're going to have an investigator come in and explain to us what they are. Then text messages all over the place. But that's not all. With this new guy, she's a swinger. And you know, the prosecutor actually said, you guys may be too young. Maybe you don't know what swingers are. But they're people that get together and have sex with each other. So she's living a double life because she's still on social media, posting beautiful things about her husband, beautiful things about her kids. Meanwhile, literally within the same minute, she's posting pictures of her genitalia to this guy. Okay? Long story short, Fabio is worth a lot of money. More money, which she explained to someone in the company, dead than alive to her, because she stands to inherit herself $2.2 million. And if she gets a divorce, she would get $1.5 million less than that. Plus, she has this big Italian Catholic family. And they would never accept her getting a divorce and then going with this racquetball guy who's a sex offender, registered. So what she thought, okay, well, if Fabio gets murdered horribly, she becomes a victim. And then could you really blame a victim that's just looking for comfort and has just gotten with the racquetball guy? But there's another twist, okay? The prosecutors didn't even know there was another player in this story until last week, when this other guy came in and pled guilty to his part in this. And boy, did he have stories for them, and everything checked out. Everything checked out. So now, the racquetball guy and the guy that helped him kill Monica's husband, Fabio, what they did, they tried to do things, and now this other guy, Austin, he helped them realize like what's going on, and they had other text messages to use because they got rid of burner phones, and the Viber app they got rid of, and you just can't call that back. And you might think you can get everything back. No, this Viber app, they couldn't get the messages on it. Some things they could see, but a lot of things they couldn't. So this other guy that came in started putting together a lot of these pieces, even though Monica was arrested and her boyfriend there. But this other guy, well, he says, that wasn't the first time we were going to kill him. They had this stuff to kill him when he was at a strip mall. And the hold on, let me go into my stuff, because I have to read from my notes. Let's Chris Austin was the other guy, okay? He said that he got out of the car and he couldn't kill the guy, and he came back, and then they had him come up with another plan. All right. So let's see here. And that's something else I've got to do. I've got something there. Okay. So they had burner phones. This is how they had this affair, these two, right? And they were swingers. Now, Monica is 52 years old now. They used those app companies. They used Viber and they used WhatsApp, and they deleted the apps, and they got rid of their burner phones. But there's remnants. There's little artifacts that remain, and they can be used. But they have jail calls between the two, and they're going to play those. I tell you, I have never seen an opening statement like this in my life. She literally went on for hours, and she put the whole case out there. And I mean, with this stuff, usually an opening statement is they grab you in with the story, they tell you what they're going to show you, but they don't go into the details the way this was. It was crazy, crazy. You're going to hear the jail calls between the two. And then you're going to see on her iCloud that there were Viber updates, even though the app was taken off, right? We're going to see her browsing history as 430 entries for Viber app, right? We're not going to see the graphic photos that were given to Baker, that's her boyfriend, in his Dropbox, because they're sexually explicit. But we're going to have an investigator come in and explain them to us. She wanted to maintain the appearance of a wife and a mother, but meanwhile, she's out there with this guy, out there with swingers. She's posting nude pictures to Baker, and then she is at Delmonico's having lobster. They're showing these pictures on the screen with the guy. She's the racquetball guy, right? They're going to show how an assistant for Fabio called Alicia Truesdale constantly emailed both to Fabio and to Monica, his wife, an itinerary so that she always knew where Fabio was. So it was very easy for her to arrange something, okay? It's crazy. And she posed for a lot of photos for her swinging website, their swinging website. Now, the swinging website is called, hold on, I had the name of the swinging website. I'll get to it. It's got to be in my notes. So she posed for pictures for the swinging website. She had red hair then, you know. And her lover is Robert Baker, the racquetball coach. Chris Austin is the other guy that they just found out about recently. So she was having sex with other guys while Baker, the boyfriend, watched. He got off watching her, okay? So she was making every round available. They were swinging as couples. They were swinging while he watched. They were, you know, just out there on a swinging website. And meanwhile, she's posting things, oh, to the love of my life, Fabio, right? Going away with Fabio and having the boyfriend come. And while Fabio is in some kind, because it's a work meeting or what, while Fabio is off doing something, she's meeting with the guy. They're all in the same freaking hotel. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's nuts. So she posed for these photos. He's got a big Dropbox. And then there's, at the time, probably was cutting edge, they have First Digital, where she was able to, now it's commonplace, right? Now I look at my phone wherever I am and I can see the cameras around my house. If I'm in Florida, I can look at my phone and it will show me. I could do a whole scan of my entire house with all my cameras. Well, in 2016, 2017, that wasn't, you know, not everybody had that, but she had that. So she was able to look around, okay? And she knew who's coming, who's going, who's there, where's Fabio, okay? So she had that. And she had her cameras able to be monitored on her phone. And let's see. She was taking pictures in the lover's apartment, and they have that. And they have her naked and drinking wine, taking pictures there. She posted pictures with Fabio. Let's see. Then they were in Las Vegas, like I said, July 18th of 2016. They were all in Las Vegas. But Fabio didn't know her lover was there, okay? Because while Fabio was away at an award show, he's busy. She's meeting up with the Baker guy, Robert Baker. He was also, they stayed at the area hotel. And so there's a lot of sexually explicit videos, sexually explicit photos. There's pictures where she wrote in lipstick on his mirror, Baker's mirror in his bedroom. She wrote Mrs. Baker. And they matched it with her signature, where they found it in jail letters and stuff. They wrote jail letters to each other that they're going to show, where she signed them Mrs. Baker. What they have text messages of Baker talking to a friend. They say, "What's up, dude?" He says, "I'm with some lady. I've been with her like a year now. What is going to get serious?" And he says, yeah, it's coming up. We're going to be moving in together, because he knows they're planning this murder of Fabio, who doesn't expect anything, right? Fabio's a big, big guy. I'll show you a picture in a minute. Monica thought this guy, Baker, Robert Baker, was her soulmate. He was her soulmate. A racquetball coach, a registered sex offender, doesn't have any means whatsoever, was her soulmate. Okay. Meanwhile, Fabio provides the lifestyle she's accustomed to for cars, clothes, shoes, fancy vacations, Italian Catholic family that would never accept this, right? And again, Robert Baker, sex offender, no future. She would be cut out if she ever decided that she was going to go. The family would cut her off, both sides. So what was her motive? Financial gain? She told someone, if I divorce, I'm not going to get as much as if he's dead. And she told people that are going to testify in the company. For whatever reason, she said, he's worth more dead to me than alive. Why? She would inherit the life insurance. She would inherit stock options. She had all of that. And the only way that any relationship would work out with Baker is if she became a victim, and then people would forgive her. Okay, she's with the racquetball coach, but what do you want? Poor thing, her husband was murdered, right? Her husband was murdered. All right. So she's highly manipulative. She's a master manipulator, and she describes herself as a great actress and claims that she bought herself a brand new Mustang while telling the salesperson she was buying it for her daughter. I guess to get a better deal. Let's see here. Okay, and then comes this Chris Austin. Like I said, they didn't know about Chris Austin until, I think it was last week maybe even. And he brings together all of this stuff. So Chris Austin says the first time we were going to kill him was when Monica says, listen, I'm going to send Fabio to the Pho restaurant, PHO, to pick up dinner. You guys go over there and take him out over there. So, okay, they have the text messages showing this, that they're texting at this time. They have GPS showing Fabio's in his truck going to this location. They have the other two in a car going to that location. They're there. They're waiting. They have Chris Austin gets out of the car. He goes around by Fabio's truck, but he can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. Fabio goes home with the food. Didn't work out. And so then they have to find another time. So, let's see here. Bring in photo. They're going to show all the stuff on the location. January 23rd of 2017. This Chris said he told by Baker. Monica said she was going to Target. That's going to be her alibi. She's going to establish an alibi, and Fabio would be home alone. Okay. Prior to that, one of their daughters had been home. Now, Monica is texting the daughter to say, don't you have to go to a babysitting gig? What are you doing? You got to get out of here. And then she's texting the other daughter, Isabella, and says, well, what are you doing? You're coming home from school. You got an interview for a deli. Well, the daughter was going to come home, 16 years old, going to come home from school, but she was going to do an interview at a deli for a job, and then she was going to stop by the optometrist. She had to pick up her glasses. Now, Monica knew full on well she was going to let Isabella, be the one that discovers her father in some horrible, disgusting, traumatizing, never able to be forgotten, bloody crime scene where she sees her father brutally stabbed, dead, makes the 911 call. Monica knew this, and Monica was okay with that. Monica was totally okay with that. Okay, my 16-year-old daughter's going to go home and discover her father brutally murdered out by the pool. She'll call 911, and then Monica will go home a few minutes later. Because after she went to Target and established an alibi, she went to Ralph's Markets, right? So that it couldn't possibly be her. She's in Target, and then she's at Ralph's Market, and then, oh my gosh, she goes home, and this is crazy, right? So, yeah. She said she'd leave the front door unlocked. She said that Fabio was on the back patio watching TV, smoking a cigar. The guys rented a car. Sounds a little bit like the Adelsons, right? The guys rented a car. They left it down the street some. They jogged up the hill wearing like workout clothes. So they jogged up, jogged into the house. Door was left open. Fabio was smoking that cigar, and they just ambushed him. Fabio didn't even have defensive wounds because what they think is that he was in shock. He's a big guy, but you got two guys coming at him, okay? Now, they don't know whether there was one knife, two knives, but he was brutally stabbed. And then the Robert Baker guy was the one that began stabbing him, but then this Chris Austin guy is the one that put a stab in the neck, okay? Then they're supposed to take the Porsche that's in the garage, and they're supposed to drive it out of there. They're supposed to stage this like a burglary gone bad, okay? But Robert is not too good at all, because the only thing that Robert disturbs is the master bedroom. And in doing so, when he's stabbing Fabio, he cut his finger. And his finger is bleeding. And his finger is bleeding over the master bedroom. And his finger is bleeding on a vinegar bottle that's in a sink that's mixed with Fabio's blood and Robert's blood. And everything he's touching in the master bedroom to make it look like a burglary is getting this blood on it. And the safes in the room are not even gone into. And there's a gun that's not even taken. And the Rolex on Fabio's arm is still on Fabio's arm. A Rolex. So investigators saw right away something's wrong with this picture, right? If you're coming here to rob this guy, you don't take his Rolex, you don't go in any other room of the house to do anything? Come on. So he stages a little bit of the master bedroom. That's it. They get into the Porsche. But before he went, okay, remember that the cameras back then were not so sophisticated as they are now. Because now you have your security cameras. They should be going to two places, right? They should be going to a cloud, and they should be going on a chip, and they should be going in your phone, 3 places. But their security camera footage was only going into a box where there was like a DVR. So he took that. That's gone. They can't see it. There's no cloud. There's nothing that they can upload anything with, right? So he got that. For some reason, he cut the power. When he cut the power, he couldn't get out the garage door, and the Porsche was in the garage. So he had to touch some manual release to open the door, and guess what? He got blood on it. He got blood on the manual release of the garage door. Okay. So Fabio and Chris Austin, they get in this Porsche, and a video from a neighbor captures them when they jogged up, and now captures them leaving. And literally 1 minute from the time they leave, Isabel comes home. Isabel comes home, goes out and sees her father, calls 911, and they arrive at the house. They pronounce Fabio dead at the crime scene. In comes Mama. Okay. Now, Mama's acted kind of weird because, like, she's saying things like, I'm not married anymore, like stuff like that. They have this kind of memorial for Fabio. And in the days that, well, Fabio got flown back to Canada where he would be buried, but there was this memorial. And while this is all going on, she's texting pictures of her genitals, pictures of her pleasuring herself, pictures of vulgar pictures to him, okay? While she's posting about her husband dying, losing the love of her life, it's crossing over like you can't even believe. And then they have some kind of a memorial at the house. And you know who comes? The lover comes. Baker, Robert Baker comes. And he's so out of place. He's like a freaking sore thumb. He's completely out of place. So, thank you, Justice. And I said I did write it down, and I am going to look that up, I promise. And if you want to come on and speak about it, you can email me, and we can talk about it, okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. So, they're looking at him, and they're like, wait a minute. Fabio didn't know this guy. This is just friends and family of Fabio. Who is this guy? And there's like this big food line, and they've got him on the food line. And people are like, something is not right. Who the hell is this? And her friends started, calling this in. They're, well, what's going on? Who is this guy? So, let's see here where we are. Now, okay, let's go back just a little bit. When Baker is leaving the house after he murders Fabio, right? He gets that DVR, all the video's gone with that. He has a pillowcase, got some stuff inside. And he tells Chris Austin, listen, you got to get out of here. All right? So Chris Austin, let's see here. He goes to, the house. They got the housekeeper. She had the housekeeper out. The housekeeper had just finished right before the murders, right? Told you about the vinegar bottle. They got in the Porsche. They left the Porsche about 5 miles from the house somewhere, and that Porsche wasn't discovered till I believe it was 2 days later, okay? But there's blood in the Porsche. And you know what else they did? They tracked Fabio's blood into that Porsche. It was on the bottom of their shoes. It was on them. They tracked it into that Porsche. Okay. At 5:14 that day, Baker texted Monica the job was done, right? And they immediately stopped using Viber. They started using WhatsApp. And guess what? Chris Austin is in a rental. That rental they rented. And at 5:45, he stopped by LAPD. He stopped by LAPD. They think it was about a seatbelt. And then Baker says, you got to leave immediately. So they go to the airport and change your ticket. and he gave him gold coins that he could exchange for cash. And they believe the gold coins came from inside Fabio's house. Okay, they were stolen and given to this Chris Austin. Okay, and Austin goes home to Anchorage. And they tell him, get a passport immediately, because when I tell you we're going to go to Mexico, as soon as Monica gets this money, we're going to go to Mexico or something, okay? So now Monica is trying to find out what's happening with the life insurance money, because she needs to get paid, right? She needs her money. And she's saying that the police are dragging their feet. Why don't they have a suspect? What's going on? What the heck is going on? She becomes fixated on that life insurance policy. And meanwhile, Wella, which was bought by Cody, has told her they're going to, for 6 months, they're going to pay his salary, and they're going to transport his body to Canada, and they're going to cover the wake, and they're doing all this stuff for her, right? Okay. But Monica kept complaining that law enforcement is taking so long to clear her. And she complained to Fabio's friend and friends and relatives that she has no money and she needs that life insurance to live. Okay, now she was due to inherit $2.2 million in life insurance. And they're going to have an expert in family law and death benefits come on, and they're going to explain how she would have gotten $1.5 million less had she had a divorce in a divorce settlement, married almost 20 years. They're going to show you how Monica lied over and over to law enforcement. She said she didn't think that Fabio even had life insurance, okay? But she handled the family finances. She knew. They're going to show screenshots where Fabio would email Monica screenshots of the insurance. If anything happens to me, here you are. You're the beneficiary. This is what the kids get. This is what you get. She has all that. Meanwhile, she's telling the police she doesn't even know if Fabio has life insurance. Crazy. Okay, so I don't understand, because it looks like it's going to continue tomorrow, but then they were saying something like, have a good weekend. So I don't know about that, but I'm telling you, this is still the opening statement. I have never seen anything like this. But it's a really, really complex, intricate case. This guy, Chris Austin, coming out of nowhere now. Fabio, not Fabio, Baker. He took a plea deal. He has life with no possibility of parole. And Chris Austin took a plea deal. Now, Robert Baker is supposed to testify in this trial. I think they both are. That's going to be an interesting thing. But they also have jail calls where allegedly Monica is saying to Robert Baker, what's going on? You're supposed to take the rap for all of this. You're supposed to do this. So it's a really, really, really crazy case. And you know what? I finally found out that Janadu, remember that other name, is Bergstrong. Scooter, you remember Bergstrong? Bergstrong, where are you? I used to see you in the comments all the time in the morning. I hope you're okay, Bergstrong. You used to always be with Janadu in the morning. Okay, let me show you some photos here, okay? I'm going to show you, because she sold the house for $1.4 million, and she would have gotten that too. But let's talk about, I'm going to show you some pictures of them, all right? Oh my gosh, did you hear that wind? That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy wind. It's 26 degrees. That literally was scary. Okay. That was scary wind. All right, let me get this now. Okay, here's the 2. This is Fabio. I have to make this smaller. Hold on. Okay, that's Fabio and his wife. Fabio's a big man, right? Big man. And this happened again. This happened in 2017, January 23rd. You know, sometimes it always seems like the trials come right at the same time frame, even if it's years later, like January 23rd. Literally, it's January 27th when this trial started. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So he was a 49-year-old hair care executive. This guy right here worked very hard to get where he was and stabbed to death on his back patio. He was home alone in the backyard. They thought it was a burglary. His femoral and carotid arteries were cut. He was attacked from behind, and that's why there's this lay-in-wait thing. He was suffering from 7 stab wounds to the neck, chest, and the thigh. Let's see here. Fabio had no enemies, said his industry colleague. You know, and I saw something actually written by somebody that he went to school with. And he was saying, you know, so much good stuff about it was back in the day, and where they didn't even say anything about the wife or anything, and not even thinking she was involved, I guess. Okay, so one of his industry colleagues said, and I quote, "He would charm you with his personality and his wittiness." It's terrible to think that this is the way Fabio had died, because he was such a great guy. You don't think anyone deserves to die that way, but especially not a really good person that you really love and you know is kind and loving. It just didn't make any sense. On June 14th, almost 5 months after the murder, police arrested Fabio's wife, Monica, and her lover, Robert Baker, a convicted sex offender. And guess what else he was? An ex-porn actor turned racquetball instructor. Charged them with murder and with the special circumstance allegations of lying in wait and financial gain, which made them eligible, if convicted, to serve life without the possibility of parole. The prosecutors are alleging that the lovers concocted the plan to kill Fabio in order to get the life insurance money. Okay, so this is her arrest, and I'll show you her lover. This is the guy she said was her soulmate. Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman told the grand jury that she wanted Monica wanted, meaning she is Monica, Fabio out of the way because she wants to be with Robert Baker. She's unhappy in her marriage, even though she's acting like a loving, adoring wife and mother. They both pleaded not guilty. Monica's attorney said, and I quote, "I wish we knew who the true murderer was." Her attorney, Leonard Levine. "All we know is it is not Ms. Sementilli. She loved her husband very much." Okay, then there was a Superior Court judge who vetoed an attempt to drop the special circumstance allegations in the case. The order to shelve the allegations came from a recently appointed District Attorney, George Gascon, as part of new reforms. The directive was criticized by Fabio's sister and son. By dropping the special circumstances, justice is threatened, said Fabio's son Luigi. The truth cannot come to light in these circumstances, Luigi added. I will never get to speak to my father again. I will never get to experience his warmth, his love, his confidence, or his endless generosity. None of us will. We lost the patriarch of our family. Okay, let's go over here now. And their house was in Woodland Hills, California. I just want to get to the part about Chris Austin so that this guy Austin, she was the mastermind, the district attorney told jurors, noting that the murder would not have happened without Monica. Silverman told jurors that authorities learned during an interview with Chris Austin after his arrest that Sementilli had called Baker to inform him that she was going to send her husband out to pick up that dinner the night that Chris Austin flew into town from Alaska. So that's what I told you about, that one that was going to happen at the Faux restaurant. They decide that Austin is going to murder Fabio at this location. And there's 69 encrypted messages during a 2.5-hour period. But Austin got nervous because he's not a criminal and he couldn't do it. So they decided that, okay, both men are going to have to do it the next day. Fabio tried to yell when he was attacked, but Baker covered his mouth. And like I said, they tried to make it look like a robbery gone wrong. Sementilli and Baker were arrested June of 2017. And then he took that plea deal. So that's what that's about. But I want to tell you about the third suspect because this is something interesting. So let me show you what the house was. Hold on. I want to show you if I can get the pictures of the house, all right? All right. So the third suspect was recently arrested, and let me see if I can get you a picture. I will in a second. He was recently arrested and charged. We're talking about October of 2024. The conspiracy count alleges that Chris Austin, 38 years old, conspired with Monica Sementilli and Robert Louis Baker to kill Sementilli's husband, Fabio. He was in court and is formally charged with conspiracy in addition to a previous charge of murder. For nearly 7 years, he was on the loose, but he was arrested earlier this month in Washington state, and he was extradited to California. Prosecutors allege that Austin is claiming that on the day of the murder, he was there when Baker got the call from Monica that Fabio was home alone and that the coast was clear. The DA alleges Austin was at the murder scene and took part in the stabbing. Austin says that Baker mentioned that Monica Sementilli wanted her husband dead for insurance money. All of this undermines Monica Sementilli's claim that she wasn't involved and knew nothing about the murder. Baker decided to plead no contest to all the charges relating to the murder, and after Baker was sentenced, Monica's attorney reiterated that she was not involved. And her attorney said, "We are confident that Robert Baker's guilty pleas and his truthful testimony will finally establish once and for all that Monica Sementilli had nothing to do with planning or the murder of Fabio, her husband. Her trial has been delayed by a number of legal issues." But now I'm just trying to see when, because if it's going to be next, if they're continuing tomorrow or they're continuing next week. That's what I have to see. 'Cause it was very confusing. But believe me, I will be following this case. This case is like crazy. Crazy. And let me show you some pictures. This is what she looks like today, you know. I don't mean like today in court. Today she was dressed in her court clothes, but just street clothes, not, but that's, I mean, it's very different from what you see in those pictures. Hold on a minute. Okay. Let's see if we have. Okay, let me just grab this. See if I can get to that house. All right, let's see. 5000 block of Queen Victoria Road in Woodland Hills. And that should be trying to see where. Monica's 53 now. Okay, here's a picture of the house. Let's see where we are. Nope. Nope. Right here. Okay. Come on. Come on, come on. There we go. So he was sitting out. This is the pool in the back. I believe this was Fabio's truck right there. Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. Okay, so let me go back to the chat and see what you guys are doing. All right, so hi, Astro from space. Wait, her soulmate? Yes, an SA racquetball coach. Yeah, absolutely. You're finally live again. And it's deleted. When you're typing and it's deleted. What did, oh, you got, oh, your stuff deleted? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so let me see. I'm in top chat. I shouldn't be in top chat. I want to be in live chat. But anyway, hey, Paint. Well, I think we're going to watch this, okay? But I'm going to do the word cookies. It's been a big day, and I've got a lot to do. I've got to get a lot of stuff ready for taxes. That's what I'm trying to do, and get all my stuff. I was getting that. I have to get billing done. I have to get shipping done. I have to get things done. So I'm going to call it a night, and then we'll see if this continues tomorrow or if it is next week or whatever it is. But I appreciate it. Thank you for, and I will look up that case that you gave me. And I thank you for your super chat. And I really appreciate your super chats, your donations to the legal fund and all of that, because it's really important to us, and really grateful for that, and to, you know, deal with all of the stuff that we're dealing with, and I hope that your eyes got opened a little bit if they were, so you see exactly. I really do hope you can kind of see and understand what's up. Deep, okay, Marvel. I'd probably maybe deeps. No. Deet. No. Kevin says pest. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, and pets. Pet and pets. Uh-oh. Hold on, pets. Right, yeah. I'm gonna get one word and just start seeing a whole bunch of words then. See, that's got to be an S. S-P, oh, I got it sped up, right? Yeah. Oh, and speed. See, once you get one word, so you just go and get this. Okay. And we got deep depths between S and T. So we've got set. Oh, there's got to be set. Got to be that. And then we've got right over here, which has got to be what do we have? Oh boy. Oh, deepest. Okay, Margot. Deepest, Margot says. There we go. Deepest. Now, what is this one? No. Past? No. One more. Let's see. What is it? Let me see. Let me look at this for a second. D pest D Oh boy, let me see. Received. Okay, Margot. Here we go. Thank you. Alrighty. We're done with that for tonight. And guys, I'm going to bid you farewell. I hope that you have a very nice evening, and I will talk to you very soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching both videos. Thank you for support. Thank you for everything. Love you guys. God bless, and we'll see you later. Take it easy. Be good.